Speaking of coercive liberalism, this is really spooky. This is a Daily Wire exclusive. Vanguard is, it's the largest provider of mutual funds in the world, second largest provider of ETFs after BlackRock, which also has gone just as woke as Vanguard. Vanguard just had a training that they subjected their employees to. Vanguard has $7 trillion of assets under management. When Vanguard says they want something, the companies under management generally do it. And Vanguard had a diversity, equity, and inclusion training to get all of the white men associated with Vanguard and the companies that it invests in to get on board with the woke philosophy.
This research that I'm about to present to you is actually an act of accidental exclusion or active inclusion, depending on how you look at it, in terms of us really ensuring and partnering with some of the leading companies in the field to ensure that white men, white male managers are actively included in the DEI conversation. And that's the piece of research, and that's the critical lever that we're here to talk about today, engaging white male managers and advancing diversity and inclusion. We partnered with, as I mentioned, some of the foremost thinkers in the DEI field and are so thrilled at Vanguard for being one of our leading sponsors.
I'm going to translate that from all that woke gibberish that you just heard. When she says they need the white men in the middle management, they need to be actively included to get on board. What that means is that the companies need to force the white guys into a re-education camp, presumably one being led by this woman. She says the white men need to be held accountable.
There's clear expectations set for DEI prioritization, engagements, and outcomes. There's clarity on how both senior leaders and middle managers will and should be held accountable. That we reinforce accountability through performance management process and feedback channels. Sort of added commentary here, I would say, just like we do for business results that are so important, right?
We need accountability through the feedback channels, and just like we have for their actual productivity, we're going to do that for this woke ideology. The translation is fire the white guys if they don't pledge fealty to this new woke racial hierarchy that people like this crazy lady are pushing. And then finally, you have the insistence by Vanguard that white men be held to uncomfortable criticism.
Do be aware of implicit biases and work to understand your blind spots. This is one of the ways that inclusion training can help us all. I'm sorry. Do learn how to listen and accept criticism with grace, even if it's uncomfortable. A growth mindset principle in many ways is if you're growing, it's likely uncomfortable. This isn't supposed to be easy. It's supposed to be hard.
This isn't supposed to be easy. It's supposed to be hard, especially to those white men. The translation here is the white guys are going to be held to a different, harsher standard, and we're all supposed to go along with this. Okay, this is being pushed not by the government even. This is being pushed by what we call the regime, the blob, the establishment, the power structure. It's being pushed by a company with $7 trillion in assets under management. When they say they want something like this, they get it from their companies. This is what conservatives have to push back against. And if all conservatives can offer is what the same kind of platitudes they've offered for the last 20 years, which is just get the government out of my life, just less government, then we're not going to do anything, because the power that's really being wielded in our society is being wielded largely outside of the government, by the propagandists in the media, by the insane ideologues in corporate America, by the lunatics in academia. That's where it's being wielded. Some people get it, that we've got to fight them on those grounds. That's what DeSantis is doing with the education bill in Florida. That you see attacks on woke corporations for that matter too. That's going to be the way of the future. If we do not lean into that, we will not conserve a damn thing. I'm glad you liked that clip. Now, you know, we hit 1 million subscribers. I'm so pleased. I'm really thrilled about the 1 million subscribers. I get the nice gold play button. It's very, very cool. You've got to head on over, though, and ring this bell and get the notifications and subscribe, because I want to hit 1 billion subscribers. So do it now. Thank you. See you next time.